mid-season review, and we're 12 rounds into the season. And let me tell you, if you had have asked me at the beginning of the year where I thought we'd be and how I thought my mid-season review would go, it would be completely different to what it's about to be. I think we've massively underachieved from where we all expected us to be this year. We're sitting at 4 wins, a draw, and 7 losses after 12 weeks, and it's certainly not where we thought we would be or where we wanted to be. There's reasons behind that, and we'll dive into it. So may as well just get stuck straight in, because there's no beating around the bush of where we're at the moment. And I will start by addressing the elephant in the room. I know our injury list hasn't been kind to us. It hasn't favoured us, especially in the earlier parts of the year. And missing Tom Lynch seriously hurts. And we've said this multiple times, myself, other Richmond people, AFL media, whatever it is, that our most important player is without a doubt Tom Lynch. I know there's other very good players in the team, but I feel like he's such a pillar, and what he provides for us is so important. And we're feeling that this year with him being gone for a majority of the season. So we're in just about every game we've been played in. I'm pretty sure the Sydney game is the only blowout result that we've been a part of. And in that, we were still in the game at 3/4 time. Like, we're really close. So it was a blowout in the last quarter, but up until 3/4 time, we're right in that game. And Sydney aren't anything special this year. So, we'll have every chance to win that if we just had done a few more things right. And I think that's the same with every game this year. We've been so close, like this close, but this far at the same time. And it's been super frustrating and hard to watch at different times. But in saying that, we're always losing within, 12 points, 14 points, whatever it is, 2-goal margins. Tom Lynch is good for his 2 to 3 goals every game. Now, I'm not saying, obviously it's easy to say, oh, he plays, we win all those games. Things change when he's in the game, of course. But if we're getting that close and you put someone like Lynch into the team, who not only kicks his own goals, but he brings the ball to ground, he gets score involvement, he sets up other goals. It on paper, it just feels like it's going to make such a difference having him in that side. So we've sorely missed him. But he's not the only one. We've obviously had other various injuries throughout the year. I know we were missing Broad for 4 weeks. Lynch, obviously, again. Jacob Hopper's missed a lot of footy. Nick Vlostone. Robbie Tarrant hasn't played all year. Josh Gibcus hasn't played all year. Nank missed a bit of time. Jaden Short missed time. Jack Graham's missed time. Morris Rowley's missing time. I know there's probably other players in there I've missed as well, but we haven't played many weeks. We've had our strongest side in, and that hasn't helped, especially when the margins have been so minor. Like, if we're getting blown out, 1 or 2 players won't make a difference. But when you lose by less than a kick or less than 2 goals, those players probably make or break that game. So it's easy to blame that, blame those injuries for our losses, but I think there's plenty of other problems, and those just don't help the situation. Another one, we've touched on this plenty, but obviously we lost our coach after round 10, which it's not ideal. I did a whole video on that, so I'm not going to start talking about Dimmer again. As much as we've loved and appreciate what he's done, it's not an ideal situation to be in, losing your coach midway into the season, or not even, we didn't even get to the midway point of the year before he left. So threw a spanner in the works, definitely. Although I do have a lot of faith in our coaching group that's still around. So have faith in those guys. But moving on, I think the biggest issue we've had all season has been our connection inside 50. I feel like it's been deplorable. And again, touching back to Tom Lynch, I feel with him missing, our 4-line structure it doesn't seem to work. It feels like we're almost a bit lost down there. We've had glimpses of really good forward entries and good connection with our forwards. The weekend against the Giants was proof of that. When Lynch was leading, Jack was having strong leads, taking marks, coming out of the middle of the ground. It was great. It was fantastic, and that's what we've missed for the massive part of the year. So we've been missing out for a majority of the season. And you just feel with Lynch on that side, we structure up a little bit better. But that's not the only thing. We've also been really inefficient, and we've kicked ourselves out of a lot of games. It's no coincidence that the games that we have won, we've kicked straight. And I know that's the same for any team, but I feel like we just do it way too often, where we'll be playing against some tough teams and we'll have a couple of chances earlier in the game where you could probably get, that 2-3 goal break clear of them, and you don't give them that chance to come back and run over the top of us like it's happened multiple times. So the inefficiency has really killed us. I don't think I'm going too far by saying that, there's clearly something wrong at a training level. I just think we're not practicing goal kicking. I know it's not a massive thing, but it seems so simple just to practice these set shots or goals on the run or whatever it is, because we miss a lot of easy ones. And I know pressure comes into account there, and of course it's a factor. I'm not saying it's not. I play local football and I miss a lot of goals myself, but the difference is I'm not training every day and I'm not getting paid what these guys get paid to kick goals. So it is frustrating, but when we're on, and it is really exciting to play. And another thing that is exciting, because the season's not all doom and gloom. Yes, it's looked bad, but we've had Robbie Tarrant. We've had Tim Taranto come into the side and absolutely light up our team. And if he's not the front runner for our best and fairest, I don't know who is, but he's dominated every game he's played in. And listen to the media all you want, his inefficiency, while it's not great, it's not the worst in the comp. And there's other star midfielders out there with worse kicking efficiencies than him. So, and we're not talking about them like we are Tim. I think Tim gets all the spotlight because he is that star recruit to a new club who a lot of people, Richmond supporters included, thought him as well as Jacob Hopper would bring us to that next premiership tilt or one last crack at it, as Dimmer mentioned a few weeks ago. So it's disappointing for him and Jacob that we're not quite at that level, or we're probably nowhere near that level as we speak. But he's been fantastic, Tim Taranto, and that's been a massive shining light. But another one has been our young guys, and you can say what you want about him. There's a few goofy moments we've had from a few of them, and the first one I've had written down because I'm going to miss a couple, no doubt. But one of the first ones I wrote down was Samson Ryan, and he probably cops a lot of the flack from the Richmond faithful and those outside the four walls as well. And it's a bit unfair. I mean, he's a young kid. It's his first consistent season of AFL football. We played one game prior to this year, I believe, and you got to really give the kid a chance. I mean, his hit-outs to advantage are phenomenal. Like, he's winning a lot of ruck taps, and it's just unfortunate that our midfield probably isn't capitalising on them as much as what we'd hoped to. His forward craft is really improving week in, week out. And I'm just noticing little steps of improvement every week that he plays. I mean, you look at the weekend, for example, I thought he was quite good. He took a good, important mark, kicked the goal. He also he had that tap down to Pickett, who went and kicked the winning goal. I mean, if Samson doesn't bring that to ground and tap it the way he did forward, we probably don't win that game. And we could end up in a tie, or who knows, they could have got up the other end and kicked the goal themselves, the Giants. So he's really impressing every week. I'm loving what we're seeing from Samson. It's going to be a slow burn. It always is with these big guys, but I think we're going to stick fat with them. The next one, Tyler Young, super impressive down back. He missed a little bit of footy this year, but when he has played, he's been great. He doesn't lose many one-on-ones. He spoils the footy a lot, and he's just playing his role really well. He's a great role player. He's doing his job, and he doesn't get beaten too often. And for a young guy, he's played on some really impressive forwards as well. It's such a good sign, and I think we're in good hands with Tyler Young as part of our backline crew as we, or some of the younger backline crew as they get a bit older. Another one, Ryan Mansell, playing that small forward role. He's good for his 1 or 2 goals a game. His pressure is getting there as well. It's building week in, week out. And he's had his moments like against Essendon, but same as all these young guys. But I'm just loving what we're seeing from Ryan Mansell as well. He's really taken to that role nicely. Jack Ross, while Pickett's been put more into that forward role, Jack Ross has found himself on the wing. And I mean, the weekend was a perfect example of what he can do when he plays his best footy, because I thought he was outstanding against the Giants on the weekend. He's a really clean ball user when he's got that confidence about him. And I think, again, he's another one you just got to play every week, because he's not going to get any better when you continue to drop him. So I'm loving him. Not that he's super young, like he's been in the system for a while. We know that. Juddy Clark is the super sub, but he needs to play more often, I believe. He plays every week in terms of he's a sub, comes on, he kicks your goal. Like in that last quarter when we needed, he comes on, kicks a goal. The boys get around him with his celebrations. It's awesome, but I'm glad we saw him play a full game on the weekend, and hopefully we get a bit more of that, because I think he's going to be a really valuable part of our team. Look, and there's plenty of others as well, like Morris Trioli. He's been injured for a fair bit, but he's someone to look forward to. Noah Cumberland, I know there's a lot of issues and he hasn't played a lot this year, but I feel like when he does, and the coaches think he's ready to come back up to AFL level, I feel like it's going to be worth the wait. As much as we're all frustrated not seeing him out there. So, look, there's a few negatives in there, obviously, with the way we're rolling at the moment. It's going to be a long 12 weeks. And look, we're only a game and a half, 2 games out of the 8. And I'm not saying it's, we're going to play finals, but definitely don't write it off just yet. It doesn't look likely, I know, but who knows? The way the competition's going, we could just turn it around and win 5 in a row, and team above us right now could lose 5 in a row. Like, it's bizarre how crazy this season is. So keep a bit of faith, and we'll see how the last 12 weeks goes for us. So that's a quick mid-season review. Obviously, there's a lot more we could be talking about, but just wanted to give my quick thoughts. What I think our major issues are, what I think some of our upsides are, and some of our upsides, especially thinking if Tom Lynch comes back and we play some good footy like we have against the Cats and we did against the Giants in our wins. I think, we could be a hard team to beat, but just hopefully we get a few more wins on the board to put us in a good position where we can make a late run at it. So that's pretty much all I've got. Thank you again for watching. We've got Fremantle this Saturday night. It's going to be a big game over in WA. Hope you're looking forward to that. If you're in WA, get to the game. Send some photos across too, because I'd love to see, Optus Stadium from a fan's point of view. It looks incredible. We've never been in WA, so I'm planning on getting over there eventually, but I won't be there this weekend. So if you are there, send me some photos, flick them through. We'd love to share those on the social, but I will be bringing out a Fremantle preview video very soon. So I look forward to that. But until then, enjoy some of the highlights still from the weekend's game. And until then, go Tigers.